Hello class. Today we'll be looking at how to adapt for a peplum top with our bodice. This is my bodice, and the previous video I showed us princess line dress, how to make the block. It's also known as panel too. So today I'll be illustrating another kind of dart, which is known as a princess dart with this, so it means two in one. So quickly, let me just explain what we are going to do. You locate your chest first, because the princess dart will be passing through your armhole on your chest level to the bust point and to the waist dart. The back, you can pick this, but at the same time, if you want to cut it out as well as the princess, you can't do that. So let me just illustrate so we get what I'm saying. I'll start with the back. All I need to do is, this is going out, this is going out, this is going out, because that's what we are going to use for the flare of the peplum top. But first thing first, like I said, you need to determine your chest level. And how do you do that? Remember, this is the bust line. The bust line, you will measure from here to here. Whatever your measurement is, divide it into 3. That will give you your chest level, as in the height of your chest. So I would say mine is here. Can you see that? I would say mine is there. Then I'll connect it to the bust point. This is the bust point. Connect it. We are closing this, we are closing that, and of course, just like the way we did it in the panel, the princess dress, we are doing the same here. So for the back, all you need to do is you need to measure what you have here. You need to measure, and mine is whatever you have, you do the same thing somewhere here. So at the end of the day, you're taking it either like this. Can you see what I'm doing? Either like this, or you take it from here, depends whichever one you choose to. So now what I want to do is to separate the lower part, which is the waist to hip, from the upper part, which is the main body. That is from the back, from the zero to the waistline. I hope you understand that. And this will be your zipper side, your zipper. So of course your zipper is 1 inch. So let me quickly take that out. So from what you can see on my table now is just the upper part, which is also called bodice, that I have. So now what I'm going to do is to close this. I'm going to close this underarm dart. So I'm going to start with the center front first. I'll take this out. I'll start with the center front first. Now if you look at it, you will see that this place is pumping up. So it means that we need to release it. And how do we do that? Don't forget, this is our bust point. Don't forget, this is our bust point. You need to mark it that way. So now we are going to connect this to this in this direction. You're going to cut out. You're cutting this out. You don't need this. Remember, it's a princess cut. I'm working on a princess cut. This, you don't need this because it's going to be out. So I'll cut. Look at the way I'm cutting it. Okay, you can see this place is not resting. So all I need to do is what? I'm going to slash it right through the bust point. Now you can see the opening. Good. So for this part, we cut it out. We're not done with that yet. You cut it out. You cut it out. I'm going to put it aside and work on the side where we have the panel or the princess dart. So you can see I have to use my pin to secure that part so we can achieve what we want to achieve. You can see immediately I release the dart here, that's the underhand dart here. What did he do? It opened up here. So I'm going to place it on another paper and blend it. I'm going to do this. Let me get I have to tape it down. Now I've secured it. Remember, this is our bust point. This is where it is. All I need to do is to blend it. You place your curve in this direction. You blend it in this direction. And one thing again is you measure from this point 2 inches. You measure down 2 inches. You follow the curve. You follow the curve in this direction. 2 inches. Follow the curve in this direction. 2 inches. Then when you do that, you can add 1/8 to 8. That's 1/8 inches. 1/8 inches. Then all you need to do is to blend it. To blend it to where you measured where the 2 inches stopped. You blend it to where you have 2 inches. Can you see? Can you see? You blend it. Are we good? So I'm going to cut this out now so we see what it looks like. Can you see? So it's very simple. It's very simple. If you can follow the instruction, it's very simple. Now we have our princess for the center front. Can you see? So at the end of the day, they should meet. This is the side. This is the center front 1, and you can make it 2. It's going this direction. I hope you understand. Now you need to blend this side of the center front too. You attach in this direction. You attach in that direction. So for this side, you need to blend it. We don't need it sharp. Or you can measure 1/16 there. You just need a little 1/16 or 0.2 centimeter there. Then you blend it. Can you see what I'm doing? You blend it. You blend it. So at the end of the day, when you are attaching this to it, it will not give you issue or makes you look as if you don't know what you're doing. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I don't want to cut to the extreme so the paper will not go off. You don't need this side. So now the center front is ready. Can you see what I just did? The center front is ready. If you have to stitch it together, all you need to do is to add just half-inch seam allowance, and join it together. Of course, you know what to use on the side, the armhole and all that. So I'll quickly look at the center back. For the center back, I'm afraid you might have issue here because for a beginner, you're not familiar with this now. Because if you had to do it, all you need to do is to connect in this direction. Can you see? But at the end of the day, it might give you, because if you have to, it might give you what is it called, contour at the back, and of course our back is flat. So all you need to do when you want to cut, you follow this direction like this. You blend this. You blend it, then you cut out. Can you see what I just did? So you cut out. Or just like we did the panel dress or the princess dress, you can connect this like this if you want. If compulsorily you want, what's it called, princess at the back, you can this will be, you cut this out. You can follow this line and cut this will be how to, you cut this out too, you cut this out, you cut this out. So don't let me just do the talking, let me do it. You cut out in this direction. Can you see? I didn't cut this because I don't want you to have issue. By the time you've perfected, though you can try it on your own, which I like students to practicalize on their own. So you see what you're doing. Now you can see you need to blend the side of it. So we have the center back. This is the side. This is 3, this is 4. You had your seam allowance as well. Your zipper should be there. You know what to have on the side, the neck and the shoulder. So we have the upper part of our peplum top ready. This is the center, that's the center back, and this is the center front ready now. So we move to our peplum. We move to how to achieve our peplum now. So this is the center front, the lower part, you know, the waist to hip that we cut out for, you know. What you need to do is you're going to cut this out. You're going to cut it out, close the dart, slash for fullness. So you're going to close this dart. You're going to close the dart because we don't need it. So let me quickly. From what you can see, I've closed the dart is closed. The dart is closed, and you can see this part is pumping up. All you need to do is to cut it. You slash it so it can relax. Can you see that? So the next thing is for me to divide this into section. You can choose the number you want, but I'm just going to divide it into section in this form so I can slash to have fullness. The same thing I'm going to do to the back. You can see I divided into section. At the end of the day, I'm going to slash and stop where I just marked. This is the center front, don't forget. So now the center back is ready and the center front is ready. All I need to do is to slash. Of course, I think in the video, there's a video that's on peplum shift dress. So it's the same way. I just want us to have a feel of peplum top. That's why I'm doing this as well. Can you see? So I'm going to do the same to both. So now I've finished slashing them. I'm going to spread it out, then show you I'm going to illustrate that now and show you what it looks. So now you can see I have my pattern pinned down and opened. I opened it for more fullness. So it now depends on you how much you want it full. You can add maybe 1 inch each to the space in between the pattern, so you can have more fullness around for your flare around the waist. And of course, this is my center back. I did the same thing. So what I'm going to do now is to trace the shape, to trace it and curve this part. So just stay with me. This is what I mean by tracing. Can you see? You follow the shape. You're still going to use what's it called? Your curve to connect that together. So I'm going to quickly do this for both front. So I finished tracing. I'll take out the pins and connect it properly with my curve. So I want to connect now. I want to connect the center front. I'm only showing us this so you will know what to do, how to go about yours when you're doing it. This is center front and this is the side. Don't forget that. So I'll finish tracing. This is the outcome. So I'm going to cut it out and show us another way, okay, show her how to attach this and this together to make one pattern. That is, you just, instead of you to cut in pieces, you will just cut all round one. So let me quickly cut this out. So we have the center back and this, it's the center front and the center back flare ready. All you need to do if you want to make it one is to put this together and join them together with sellotape. You can see you will have one flare to cut. That is, when you place it on your fabric, this side will be on fold, this will be on fold. So let me get my, so now I've taped them together. You can see is one, and the upper parts in piece too. So this is the pattern for a peplum top. Though the next video I'll quickly show us how to cut out our facing, but for now this is our peplum top pieces. All you need to do is to add your zipper allowance, add your seam allowance. This is going to be cut on fold, this is going to cut on fold, this is pieces as pieces. So thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you. You can get all those tools at Waju Couture and at Fashion Tools 44. You can get it, and they are affordable, cheap, and durable. Portable, you will not regret it. Thank you.